Hello, I'm Ken, and this is Inside the Toon, and this is the complete set of vlogs that I did for the match Newcastle versus Brentford. Eddie has held his press conference ahead of the game against Brentford at home at St James's, 5:30 kickoff, Saturday the 7th of February. Let's see what he had to say. I'm Ken, and this is Inside the Toon. He was asked, first of all, about confidence following the defeats in the last week and going out of the Carabao Cup. He said, naturally, it's a big week coming up, and we have games at home after several games away. And on the confidence, has it taken a hit? Naturally, you can lose focus on the games that we've had following Paris, Liverpool and Man City. For any team, that will be difficult. He said watching those games, the scorelines look pretty bad, especially the Man City and Liverpool ones. We have to acknowledge that, and that we have to protect the confidence of the players, because if you carry the baggage into the next game, then that can be difficult. We need the players to play these games with clear heads and feeling good about themselves. On the injuries and fitness levels of the players that are doubtful, Gordon, no major update on Anthony. And yes, he will miss every chance of missing the game tomorrow. On Bruno's availability, he's getting closer. He did a training session on Wednesday when we were travelling and felt pretty good. He said, I'll see him later today, and fingers crossed he'll be fit. On Lewis Miley, we'll find out today. I'm waiting on an update for him. Again, it's not a serious injury. Another question was asked about the heavy defeats. He basically said you need to learn and evolve from it and learn from every setback. The main thing is the players entering the next game in a positive frame of mind. Eddie was asked what message he's got for the supporters. He basically said, we are fighting. We're trying to get a positive outcome. He was asked whether he would step down in the summer. He said, that's a surprise to me. I just try my best. The players were hugely motivated, and we then conceded early in the game, and that became very difficult for us against Man City. He said the team kept going, trying to score, created chances right through the game, which I agree with. But there was no break for us. I can assure you the players are maxed out physically and mentally, and we obviously see them behind the scenes. That is the same with the staff. We are trying for success. It doesn't always go in straight lines. There will be bumps in the roads, as there has been this season, but we will give our all to get a positive outcome. So he said there's no magic wand to straighten the ship at the moment, and he's just working along with the staff and the players to get it right on the pitch, and especially next up against Brentford. Again, he was pushed on stepping down in the summer. He ended a short statement saying, my individual future is not really relevant. Big Nick's not scored for 12 matches now, I think it is. So he was asked about how he's settling in. Eddie said he's young. It's a new league, and he started so well that everybody expected that to continue. He's getting to grips with the challenges of the Premier League now. You have to keep ahead of the other teams, so there's work for him to do. He has a great attitude, and that is the biggest thing for me that we need to be successful. Asked about Anthony Elanga and how well he's doing. Obviously delighted that he got a goal. He said if you put a highlights reel together, you're going to see a player that is really dynamic and quick and really direct. There is no doubt in his ability. He was asked about competing on 4 fronts, and he said it all depends on the injuries. If you get 1 or 2, that's okay. 4 or 5 injuries in one position, then it's not okay. At the start of the season, I really liked the look of the team and the squad. Throughout the season, we have had different blows with key players missing. No doubt about that. So that's his biggest concern, is the amount of injuries. He was asked about the summer transfers that came in 2025 and how well they're doing. He kind of deflected the question to the end of the season. He said it's too early to make strong conclusions. Clearer idea, because you could look at Lewis Hall and say that didn't really work initially, but now look at him. I can't disagree with that. He said with Anthony Gordon, it took time for him as well. I think patience is needed. So he's obviously referring to Big Nick in Elanga and Visser as well. So that concludes a quick summary of what Eddie had to say. He did say a lot in his press conference today. So if you enjoyed this first vlog in the match series of Newcastle versus Brentford at home, then please hit the like button. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Absolutely free. Next up will be my match day review and predictions. Take care. Welcome back. I'm Ken, and this is your match day programme. Newcastle against Brentford this evening at 5:30 St James's Park. Brentford are currently lying 7th in the league, 3 points ahead of Newcastle. So a win today for Newcastle would see them go above Brentford on goal difference. Brentford have been strong at home, less so on the road. But most notably, they beat Aston Villa away 1-0 recently at the beginning of February. Brentford have won 2 of their last 3 games against Newcastle, having failed to win any of their previous 10. Brentford are looking to complete their second double of the season over Newcastle, previously doing that back in 1934. And there's been goals, lots of goals in these games, 37 goals in 9 games. So that's an average of 4.1 goals per game. So it could be exciting, there could be goals, and hopefully a Newcastle win. In talking of goals, if we look at the last 5 Premier League matches for Newcastle, they've generated 11.03 expected goals, which is very high. What that implies is that there's about 2.2 XG goals per match in this mini run, even in games they may not have scored as much as the quality of chances suggested. So we all know that XG goals do not win you matches. Putting the ball in the net does, and that's the only stat that really counts in football. Continuing the theme of XG goals, over this season, Newcastle's 1.56 per game, meaning that they generally create chances worth about 1.5 to 1.6 goals per 90 minutes. Indications that they're expected to score slightly more than they concede, which is good, even if results haven't reflected that recently. So the underlying attacking numbers are fairly healthy for Newcastle. They're generating chances at a decent rate. So let's hope whoever is up front, whether that's Big Nick or Visser, can get on the score sheet today, and Newcastle can come away with a few goals, but more importantly, the 3 points. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit the like button and subscribe, absolutely free. And if you want to hang around, you can see my predictions video next. I'm Ken, and this is Inside the Toon. Predictions time, team and score coming up next. My predicted team pretty much picks itself today due to the injuries. If Bruno's fit, then obviously I would play him. If he's not fit, then I think I'd bring in Willock. Having said that, Eddie might start with Willock instead of Jacob Ramsey if Bruno is fit. So a few options there, I guess, for Eddie to play with and think about. Up front, I've got Elanga, Visser, and Barnes. Defence, again, it pretty much picks itself. Trippier, Chow, Byrne, and Hall. Sandro Tonali, whose agent is trying to get him out of the club in the summer, sadly. And Bruno and Jacob Ramsey. Again, the bench, I don't know. It could be more youngsters, more goalkeepers, who knows. I am predicting a 2-1 win to Newcastle. My predictions throughout January were absolutely rubbish. I don't think I got one right. So please don't place any of your hard-earned money on my predicted score. I don't. Newcastle have the home advantage, and hopefully that will be the key factor in bringing us over the line with 3 points. Enjoy the match if you're going. If you're watching it somewhere else, then also enjoy it. Take care. I'm Ken, and this is Inside the Toon. And thank you for watching. So the big news is that Bruno is back in the team and is fit to play. Pope comes back in for Ramsdale. In defence, we have Trippier, Botman, Chow, and Hall. Up front, we have Barnes, Murphy, and Visser. And then in midfield, we got Tonali, Willock, and Bruno. So it's good to see Bruno back. Hopefully he is fitting well and ready for the challenge. Today's match feels like a big one to me. On the bench, let's have a look at the bench. On the bench, we got Ramsdale, Asula, Elanga, Big Nick, Dan Burn, Alex Murphy, Ramsey, Sahar, and Neve. So again, Burns dropped out of the Man City match. He looked knackered. Elanga, I think, is unlucky to be not in the starting 11, to be honest. And Big Nick, he just needs a confidence boost in the odd goal. But while we're under this pressure of so many games, we're going to need all of them in February as we move forward. So look forward to the match. It's a big one for us, isn't it? Away the lads. Half time, Newcastle went ahead through Botman, and Brentford scored a very good goal from a massive cross and a good header. And then a penalty is given against Murphy for a handball in about the 44th minute. Did not. It took us some time to get into this match in the first 16, 17 minutes until we got a Barnes back flick that just went wide and out. From which point we came more into the game, and that resulted in a couple of corners, and eventually a corner paid off, and Botman headed it backwards into the net. Newcastle 1-0 up and well in control of this match at this point. Dominate the match, and we had a number of corners, a couple of Tonali attempts, and then against the run of play, to be honest. 37th minute, Brentford could go up the other end. Trippier is caught out, and it's a massive cross from the Brentford winger, and a very smart header by Janet, and it's in Pope's stretching, and it's in the net. Could it get worse? We were in control of it. Murphy was called up for a handball. His hand, to me, was by the side of him. He was about 7 or 8 feet away from the goal line, and Pope was behind, who would have probably saved it anyhow. Referee straight away gave the penalty, and I believe that this is how VAR got to agree with him, because they didn't want to go against the ref. It was a soft handball, if you understand the handball rules at the moment, but obviously I don't. So we're 2-1 down. We're still in the game. We can definitely score again. However, what this will do to the morale, and what Eddie says at halftime, is now quite vital to lift them to get back into this game and take the 3 points. So let's see what happens, shall we? I'm going to react straight after the match, which we just lost 3-2 to Brentford. And here's my final whistle report. I'm Ken, and this is Inside the Toon, who is extremely frustrated. So Willock and Murphy off. When Elanga and Big Nick came on, that's what Eddie decided at half time. In the 50th minute, we had a potential penalty for a handball, but the referee and VAR both said no. Visser went off in the 62nd minute, was replaced by Usula, while Newcastle claimed for a handball again. Again, no handball. At this point in the game, I was very confident that Newcastle were going to score and get back into the game and go on to win it, to be honest. In the 73rd minute, Bruno's trip from behind. It took VAR probably about 5 minutes to decide that it was a penalty. Bruno stepped up and scored it, sending the goalie the other way. And at this point, I really thought Newcastle would go on to win this game. They had been attacking all the way from the 45th minute onwards. Nick had the ball and ran towards the Brentford goal, but ran into a wall of Brentford players, unfortunately, in the 80th minute. And then within a couple of minutes, Brentford break down the left-hand side, comes into the box, shoots, and it goes through Pope's legs. Trippier had been beaten previously by the speed. It was hauled off in the 86th minute, 2 minutes later. One last chance in about the 92nd minute. Quick free kick, hauled to Elanga, who squared it through to Chow, who stretched and just put it just wide. So close from about 4 feet out. The rest of the 9 minutes of extra added time fizzled out. Hall and the referee got into a number of arguments for about 4 minutes, with Hall being booked. And the referee started to take it personally, in my opinion. So the final whistle came in the 99th minute. Credit to Brentford, that I think that's their 4th win away in 5 matches, so good on them. It's not a week to remember for Newcastle. We've got Spurs away, who are also on a bad run of results, so maybe we can turn things around down there, but I'm really doubtful at the moment, to be honest. We didn't test the Brentford goalie in that 9 minutes of added time. Looking at the attack momentum chart, you can see that Newcastle in the second half and they're the green on this. In Brentford are the blue, had most of the ball. The taller the green stack, the closer we are to their penalty area or in their penalty area. But you can also see that once they scored, we really only had that one attack with Chow's chance in the 92nd minute. Other than that, it just fizzled out, and we just couldn't do anything about it now. Hello again, I'm Ken, and this is Inside the Toon, and this is the final word where we look at the reaction of Eddie, the players, the fans, to the defeat at home to Brentford on Saturday. The team were booed off on Saturday. It's not something I've ever done throughout all my years of following Newcastle United, and I've seen some right rubbish, to put it politely. But everybody's allowed their opinion, and they pay the money and they go in. Eddie was asked about this. He said, if we perform, the crowd will back us. I don't see a problem with it. I usually put this slide at the end, to be honest, but to set the scene, I thought I'd share what some of the YouTube channels are saying, including a couple of journalists. Pete, he's had enough and he wants a how out. Keith said it's a statement defeat. Craig said it could get worse. Lee gave his last word update as well this morning, I think. Adam P was not a happy chap again, and nor am I. One of my favourite songs is Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie, and Eddie Howe said he's always under pressure, which is a fair, honest statement that he came out with. He said, I'm obviously not doing my job well enough at the moment, and I'm annoyed with myself. Although we have a very unwanted record this season of leading in games and then dropping points, I still want Eddie to stay. I'm a Remainer. So looking at the Brentford game now, Eddie said it was a strange game. You think at 2-2, we were going to go on to win. And I said that in my final report and even my half-time report when we were 2-1 down. I thought we had enough to win this game quite easily. But he said we give up easy goals. It's been a massive problem in the last group of games, how we throw away chances, we're attacking, and the next thing you know, the opponents have scored. It's something that Eddie is obviously looking to sort out along with the players. Eddie went on to say, this is a harsh reality for me. I have to work better. I have to take responsibility. And I have got to work out solutions. Of course, he's going to work with the players on this, he said. I don't think there are too many who can say they're playing at their best at the moment. Trippier came out as one of the leadership group after the match and talked to Sky Sports. First of all, he said, I want to say it's nothing about the manager. We take responsibility for the performances. The manager puts the plan out and we try to execute it. I'm not going down the route about the manager, the fans, and the manager, most importantly. It's up to us, the players, that need to take responsibility on the pitch. So looking at some stats now, did we have our shooting boots on? Yeah, we made the chances. Visser was so close to scoring when it was kicked off the line. It wasn't a great attempt by him. It was a big chance, and probably last season he would have put those away so easily, but this season he's not. He's had a frustrating year, and it's costing us, I'm afraid. So as you can see from the numbers, really, 4 blocked, 4 on target, 10 in the box, 1 big chance and 3 big chances missed. It really says why we should have won this match. The attack momentum chart in the top right-hand corner here, with a green. We were all over them for most of the match, but they had a couple of spells. One at the end of the first half where they got the 2 goals, including penalty that I still believe wasn't a handball under this new rule. And then right at the end, after they scored, we whimpered out at that point. Looking at the fixtures finally, where will the next win come? I'm desperate to believe that we could do it at Tottenham. They're having a really awful time of it as well, except in the Champions League like ourselves. And then we go off to Villa in the FA Cup. Will that make a difference? I honestly don't know. The big difference actually will be when we can get more players fully fit and functioning on the pitch. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series of vlogs. Obviously the result none of us like. Next up is Spurs. So I'll be doing the same again with the match series. So if you do like this, then hit the like button, please. Subscribe. It's absolutely free. And I enjoy doing these. Take care. And the next match comes around really quickly, Tuesday evening.